You are listening to the Healthy Happy Mommy podcast, episode number 39.
You are listening to the Healthy Happy Mommy podcast with Nikki Lee Gorovich, the faith, health, and business style podcast for Christian boss moms, so you can train from a fellow mompreneur and other experts how to run your business, raise your babies, and maintain your health, all while keeping God at the center of it all. Here's your host, organic obsessed, crazy chicken lady, and world's okayest mom, Nikki Lee Gorovich.
So I get this certain question asked a lot of times, and it's because when people want to make big drastic changes in their lives, they want to assume that they have to take these big drastic steps in order to create change. And what my opinion has been is that people that are looking to make very big lifestyle changes, such as diet, exercise, maybe just taking on a healthier lifestyle, getting rid of stress, things like that, they assume that there has to be this big catch-all, like I have to do this one big thing that will alter everything else in my life, or that I have to take this one class, or I have to get this one certification, or join a gym, or adopt one specific style of eating, and then everything will be better. Like I will lose that weight, or I will be happier, or I'll finally get rid of the stress, or I'll finally fit into my old clothes. And what has happened in my life and what I have seen with my clients is that you are never going to have one thing that happens in your life that fixes all of the problems that you have. There's never one thing that you can do. That would be really superficial. It wouldn't be sustainable. It also wouldn't, that would all imply that we were all the same and that all of the things that we deal with in our life is the same. And so we can have something that's kind of like one size fits all problem solver, or one size fits all way to get back into your skinny jeans. And it just doesn't work like that. And because we're all different and our personalities are all really different, and we have different challenges and different lifestyles. And so those differences in us as human beings cause us to need and require different decisions, different results, different steps that we take in our lives that will get us to the result that we want to get to. And so today I really want to just talk about how the art of small decision making really makes such a drastic impact on our lives years down the line, months down the line, that we don't even realize it. And I think a lot of people that are going through some lifestyle changes, or maybe they're in a stuck place in some area of your life, whether it's your diet, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your job, or just maybe your personal development, maybe your mindset, maybe you're just feeling really stuck right now. I want to talk to you guys today about that, the fact that the decisions that you have made up until this point have gotten you to where you're at right now. And the decisions that you currently are making and that you will continue to make are going to give you results down the line. So whatever you're doing right now, you're probably not going to see the result of those decisions just yet. I mean, obviously you're going to see some of the decision-making results, like if they're very, right to the point, like, oh, I'm going to decide to go get my car washed. Now I have a clean car. So clearly that is a very quick result. I see that I made that decision. Now I have this result. But if you decide to eat a donut every single day for a month, the day that you eat the donut, the day that you eat the first donut, and you make that decision and you say, oh, it's just one donut one day, you're not thinking of what's going to happen in a month after I've eaten one donut every day for a month. You're not thinking like that. You're thinking, well, it's just one donut just today, or it's just one lie that I'm telling just today, and it's okay. But if I'm lying every single day for a month, I'm going to start adding up on the guilt factor that I have going on, or maybe I have some other things that are going to go on because of the fact that I've been lying or the fact that I've been eating donuts, and you're just not going to feel good about yourself if you continue making these small decisions. So we're going to talk about small decisions and how they drastically impact our lives and drastically impact our future, but in a way that is, you can change your course by really paying attention to the decisions that you're making. And I just want to give you some examples of how that happened in my life. And I really do invite you to get honest with yourself, because when we are honest with ourselves and we are aware of what we have been doing, then all of a sudden the blame that we so love to place on everyone else and every other situation that causes us to be in the position that we're in, all of a sudden that blame is turned right back on us, and we can see that it's been us all along. Now, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad or make you feel bad or make you be like, oh my gosh, I'm the worst person ever. But we have got to be big girls and boys here and take responsibility for everything that we have been doing in our lives and see that, yes, I'm an adult. And yes, I made decisions. And yes, my decisions have gotten me to where I am, whether that's good or bad. Your decisions have gotten you up until this point in your life. Obviously, as a child, your parents made decisions for you, and that got you to a certain point in your life. And then once you were old enough to start making your own decisions, you created a course for yourself, and you've been following that course this entire time. And all of the things that you've ever done in your life have been a product of the decisions that you have made. That can be good or bad, right? So if you have a degree, a college degree, that is great. It's because you decided to go to college. It's because you decided to go to class and do your work and get your work done and show up and follow through. So you have a degree because of those decisions that you made. If you dropped out of high school, it's because you decided that you were not going to go to school. So both of those things are decisions that you made, and they're a product of your environment, and the decisions that you made are a causative response to now what you're dealing with. So now if you're sitting there saying, I have no job, I have no income, I don't know where I should go, it could be because you decided to drop out of school and then you never went back and you never applied yourself for anything. So now you have this idea in your head that you're not good enough or that you can't do anything because of a decision that you made long ago. And I'm obviously not saying that, this is anyone, like maybe this is not your situation. I'm just giving you an example that yes, you need to be responsible for the stuff that you have done in your life and stop blaming everybody else. And the same with like people who are unable to lose weight. Okay, well, did you decide or not to eat the extra piece of pizza? Did you do that or not? I mean, nobody sat there and force fed you all of the food that you've been eating, and now you want to blame everyone else about why you can't lose weight. I mean, I'm just keeping it real and just saying that like our decisions matter. Our small decisions that we think don't matter, don't have much weight because they're in that moment, they're in that little moment of like, oh, I'm going to snooze the alarm for 10 more minutes today. All of a sudden you're snoozing the alarm every single day and you're no longer waking up and doing your gratitude routine. You're no longer praying. You're no longer reading your Bible because you snooze your alarm every morning. And so you're not taking that time that you used to take to do things that made you feel good, that improved your life. You're now sleeping instead. And one day turns into two, and two turns into three, and three turns into four. And then all of a sudden, guess what? You have a habit formed. It takes about 21 days to form a habit. So if you are doing these things over and over and over again, you're creating a neural net in your brain. It's literally like a pathway in your brain. And it's like your brain puts down myelin, which forms this groove in your brain that causes habits, and it's good or bad. Like either way, good habits and bad habits both are physical grooves in our brains that we have put there because of our decision making, and everything that we have done over and over and over again have caused these grooves. And so, I'm just saying, like, your decisions matter. Every little decision that we make does matter, and it does make a difference. But the good news is that you can start making better decisions today, and you can start making those different choices and start creating new grooves in your brain. And yes, at first it will seem like a chore, it will seem like work, because it's not automatic, because our habits are automatic. But when we want to create a new habit, we have to put in the work in order to create the groove. So if you think about it like this, if you are driving a truck over a rocky surface, like it's all rocky, right? And you take that truck and you drive it over this rocky surface, and you do that over and over and over again in the same exact spot with the same truck, you eventually will create a path in that rocky surface, and you will start to see tire marks, and you'll start to see a groove that forms in that rocky surface. And so that's what happens when we create these habits in our brain. It causes this kind of groove. Now, if you decide that you want to create a new path that truck needs to go down, you're going to have to start it all over again. You're going to have to drive that truck on a different path along the same rocky surface over and over and over again, because the rest of the surface is still rocky. So you're going to have to repeat and keep driving that truck over and over and over again to create that new groove. And so that's the same thing as our bad habits and our good habits. So the habits that you have right now, say you snooze the alarm every single day, that is a habit that you have created over time. You have driven that truck over that rocky surface over and over and over again, and now it's automatic, and now it just happens. If you want to change that habit, you're going to have to get uncomfortable with getting up and not snoozing your alarm for an extended period of time so that you can create that new groove and that new habit. And that all starts with small decisions. Like maybe you don't go to bed so late. Maybe you lay your clothes out the night before. Maybe you put your phone in another room so you're not tempted to just roll over and reach the phone and hit snooze. Maybe you tell your spouse that this is what you want to do, and then they can help you become accountable. Those are all small decisions that you can make over time, will make a huge difference in your habits and your results. So, like I said, these decisions that we make every single day are, some of them are obviously insignificant, but others that we are making, especially if there's the same decisions that we make every single day, like snoozing the alarm or eating poorly, like say you eat fast food every single day because you don't have time to cook, or you just, you don't know what to eat. So you just go to the fast food restaurants every day instead of cooking. You're not going to feel the result of that right away. Right? You're going to be like, okay, I'm okay for like a couple days or a week or so. But after a week of that or 2 weeks, you're going to start feeling gross, especially if your body's not used to that. You're going to start feeling sick. You're going to feel like just lethargic and heavy, and maybe you're going to have some brain fog. And so, then you're going to have to kind of backpedal and say, what did I do to cause this result in my life? Well, I've been eating fast food for the past month. If you're having a poor time in your relationships right now, if maybe your marriage is struggling, or you are having relationship problems with your children or your friends, instead of blaming everyone else, instead of saying everyone else has really nobody hears me, nobody listens to me, nobody wants to pay attention to what I have to say. Well, instead of blaming somebody else for your relationship problems, maybe you should look back and really take an honest inventory about what decisions have you been making in your life that have caused you to feel this way. Have you been too busy on your phone to pay attention to your spouse? Have you not made any like actual significant effort to talk to your spouse or your children? Have you been too wrapped up in everything else that you want to do to bother and ask them how they are? Have you called your mother? Have you called your father? Like, have you tried? Have you made any effort? So I'm just saying, like, we can sit there all day and blame everybody for why things don't go right in our life. It's so much easier to do that because then we can be alleviated from the guilt that comes along with screwing things up. But you really do have to see that it is not like that. We are just as responsible for our results as anyone else is. We're even more responsible because it's our life and our decisions, and we are the ones that can make or break our situation by the decisions that we make. So if you're having financial troubles, for example, it might seem like something small and insignificant, but a perfect example would be to stop going to Starbucks every single day and spending $5 on your coffee, and instead make your coffee at home and save that $5. Over time, it adds up. There's something that says like if you save a penny every single day for the next 30 days, you would like, well, actually it's not that. It's like this thing that says, what if you saved a penny every single day for the next 30 days, but then it doubled up for every day? You would end up with like a couple $1,000,000 because, you know, it just like with interest, everything doubles and stuff like that. It's just a like a euphemism or whatever. But the point is that like small decisions, even though they don't seem significant at first, they add up over time. So if you were to wake up 30 minutes earlier every single day to prepare a meal or get in a quick workout, or maybe work on your side business, or spend time connecting with your wife and kids or your husband, maybe you practice your gratitude routine, all of those things, 30 minutes every day, maybe at first doesn't seem like a total big change, but over time that would have a huge impact on your life, and what it could really, really lead to big positive changes down the road. Because if you talk to anybody, any successful person, they all take the time in the morning to get right with themselves, to whether they meditate or journal or practice gratitude or work out, whatever they do, they all have this morning routine. So they all put that time in the morning. So I'm just saying, like, that's a perfect example of how things add up over time, how they don't seem significant right away. For me, it was like that. For example, when I got diagnosed with my autoimmune disorder, I was 28, I was sick, I was stressed out, I had no clue where to go, what to do, where to start. I did not know anything. But what I did have was a decision that I would not roll over on this. I would not let them just tell me that this is what it was going to be. I knew that was my main thing, and that's what saved me, honestly, is that I made that decision because I believe that God gave me that tenacity and that will to not let somebody tell me my fate and just say, oh, okay, sure, I'll be on medication the rest of my life, I'll be sick, I own that. No, I didn't own that. I didn't own it. I didn't accept it. There's obviously some times where we do need to accept our like things that happen to us and process them. But if there's a will, there's a way, and if you have hope, you have everything. So I feel like there's nothing wrong with feeling like there's always hope and there's always a will and a way to get around different things. So for me, when I was diagnosed, I had this hope and this determination that I would not let that be the end of it. So I made very small decisions over time that started with something as small as just taking gluten out of my diet, and then starting to just research what I could do to make different changes. And my research led me to the holistic doctor that I have now that, you know, has given me small steps and small things over time. It's been 4 years, but over time, all these little small things have created such a drastic change in my body where I look back and not only am I not that same girl, right? I'm not eating the same things. I have learned so much about myself and about health and the body and stress and just all the things that I know now I did not know before. So I'm number one, I'm not her emotionally, I'm not her mentally, I'm not her physically, inside and out. I'm just 100% different. But when I was her, when I was sick, I never would have looked ahead and been like, this is who you're going to be in 4 years. I never thought like that. And looking back now, there's not one defining moment. It's been small steps over time. It's been small changes that I have made decisions over time to stick with. I've made a decision to stick with exercise. I've made a decision to stick with healthy eating. And those small decisions every single day have created the reality in my life that I have now, where I'm not sick and where I'm healthy and happy. And I have things in my life that, that I have been able to do now because of the decisions that I made. So for you, whatever it is, whatever stress you're dealing with or whatever bad thing you're dealing with right now, I mean, our society is so stressed out. We're so overwhelmed. And I just want to encourage you that we do have the power to change our decisions and to make better decisions, make better choices, little tiny things. If you want to lose 50 pounds, don't focus on the number on the scale. Focus on waking up 5 to 10 minutes earlier and putting some gratitude out there, drinking water, and moving your body for 5 minutes a day. Start there. I promise you that does so much more than joining the next fad diet that you're going to fail at in a month because you can't do it. You have to change your mindset. You have to change your routines and your habits. You're not going to be able to sustain a diet that you are not fully sold on. If you're not in the habit of caring for your body, it doesn't matter what kind of diet you're on. You have to get that mindset about it. You have to change the way that you look at things. You have to change the way that you look at your life and raise your standards. If your standard is to lay in bed all day long and not get up and do anything with your life, then you know what? Your result is not going to be the one that you want. If you want to improve your life, you can't lay in your bed all day long. If you want to improve your life, you can't sit there and moan and groan and complain about everything else that's wrong. You have to choose to do something differently. You have to choose to make better decisions that will allow you to open up your mind, see that there's different things happening in life, change your perspective, see that it's not just what you see. Because when we change our perspective, everything else around us changes too. The thing that you see, I might not see because I see it in a totally different light than you. I heard this story yesterday about a man who was breaking up bricks with a sledgehammer, and somebody came up to him and asked him, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh man, I'm just breaking up these bricks. It's crazy. My back's killing me. It's like the worst ever." And then another man was doing the exact same job, breaking up bricks with a sledgehammer, and somebody else said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm building a castle," because that's what they were working on. They were breaking up these bricks so that they could build it up into a castle. His perspective was, I am building a castle, when the other guy was saying, "Oh, I'm just breaking bricks and it's hurting my back." He was complaining and not seeing the bigger picture and not seeing what could be. And the other guy had his perspective shifted and knew that the little things that he was going to do today was going to eventually be something huge, and it was eventually going to matter and be something big. So for us moms who are stressed out all the time and thinking that the small stuff that we do every day doesn't matter, and that all of your efforts are going to waste, I promise you it's not. All the good stuff that you're doing with your kids, it will pay off. You are not wasting your time. You are not just kind of spinning your wheels. I know that sometimes it feels like that. Believe me, I know. but it all pays off in the end. All the stuff that you're doing with your kids to tell them about Jesus, or feed them the right foods, or get them out and exercise, or, limit device time, all of that small stuff that you're doing that doesn't seem like it's a lot, I promise you right now that it all adds up, because when they go to make decisions as adults, they're going to remember their upbringing, and they're going to remember how mom made these decisions so that I had the right foundation. So it's so important. It really, really is. It's so key to be making these very conscious, very good, small decisions to just be happier, be better, change our perspective, smile more. Smiling changes your psychology immediately, your physiology. It changes you immediately. It automatically puts you in a happier mood when you smile. And that's just a small decision that you could do every single day. You could do it right now. Force yourself to smile every single day about something. Even if it's fake, force it. Force that smile, because it does change your state immediately. And if you do that over time, you're going to change the way that you look at things. Your outlook on life will change. If you walk around with a mope on your face all the time, you're going to have a bad attitude. That your energy is going to be all about negative, 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 and you're going to pull in negative, negative, negative into your life, instead of making the decision to be happier, go out there and help somebody, go out there and do something small for somebody every single day that you can do, just something little. And I promise you, those decisions that you're making will impact your life in such a drastic way that you won't even recognize yourself a year or two down the line. So remember that the result that you're experiencing right now is a product of the decisions that you've already made. So whether you love your results right now or you're not really loving your results right now, just realize that you are the one that's responsible. You have made the decisions to get you to this point. So don't blame anybody else. Be a woman enough or a man enough to admit that you have gotten yourself here. But now step into the power that allows you to make different decisions now. Today is the first day of everything else that you could ever do or be. We are never too far gone. It is never too late to start making better choices and do better things with our time here, because let's face it, our time here is extremely short, and I, for one, don't want to waste the time that we have. I want to do as much as I can to empower people and help them and share the love of God with other people and let them know that there's so much more to life than walking around cranky and stressed out and unhealthy all the time. So I hope this encouraged you. I hope you are ready to start stepping into more empowering, better decisions that will drastically change your life over time. So until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.